Druid. Okay, they brought back the Druid. Ooh, this looks like the Spiking Viking, one of my old teammates, Chris Buckheisen. I think I'm gonna do the Necromancer because I just like casting a bunch of skeletons. You guys see here on the mini screen. I like to have an army because I'll probably go solo.
Sure about that?
Great question. When I was playing the old Diablo, I really liked the Sorcerer, only when they're overpowered, like when you have a lot of good gear, otherwise you're really weak, and the Barbarian was fun. So I used to play a lot of Barbarian. Let's see what look. Oh, I like that little mohawk, man. No, on Twitch, I do not stream. For my first kind of live stream gaming, I'm going to mainly go through YouTube, just so it's easier for the members to kind of tune in. Who knows? If I have to start another gaming channel, I might go Twitch, because I know a lot of gamers do that. Damn, you could fully customize your face. That's what they're asking. Kind of reminds me of when Isagi goes into that, or no, was it when Sai goes into that zombie mode? This is kind of what it reminds me of here. I'm going to choose blue in honor of Isagi. I say, what do you think of physically athletic Morval, Rin or Kageyama? Oh, I got to pause for this one. Who do I think is more athletic? Actually, let me start. I think Kageyama still has a little bit more... It's hard to know because I don't think Kageyama, you get to see him push his like physical ability to the limit. I think Rin, maybe because the nature of Blue Lock is always about like pushing your limit beyond what you can do. So maybe if Kageyama was in the Blue Lock experiment, maybe we would have seen a different version of him. But I would say, just based off what we see, I would say Rin is more physically gifted. But I think that would be really cool to run a mental experiment on, like, what if Haikyuu players had to endure the Blue Lock experiment? Wouldn't that be cool? Let me know what you guys think. And who do you think would survive as the ultimate egoist, and who would be the biggest surprise? Yeah, that's a good point. Rin Afanir said that you're thinking Kageyama might be physically stronger, but then Rin knows how to use his body. Yeah, I think they're both really efficient. I think the only time we really saw Kageyama's upper limit is when he was trying to tell Hinata, like, this is how you spike on the right side, and he did it so easily, and he hit it really hard, and everyone's like, whoa, this guy's really good. So I don't think Kageyama was ever put in a place to go way above his ability. He just kind of always was really good and kept getting better. Who would excel better in opposite sports, Hinata to soccer or Isagi in volleyball? Man, those are great questions. I love this. I guess this is why people enjoy these live streams, as you get to... I think Hinata would actually do better at soccer because I think he's naturally a little bit more physically gifted. I think Hinata is always really good about pushing his limits. I think Isagi is more cerebral, but you can always feel like he's just kind of barely at the edge of his physical ability, that he might not be able to make it to the next level, whereas Hinata, I feel like the sky is the limit with him. So physically he's good, and he does have that ego. He does want to make it about himself. Let's see, what are the other comments? Love you, coach. It's great to see you doing something new. Yeah, this gaming thing is super new. I don't even know what's happening with the game, but I'm just having a really fun time just interacting with you guys. These graphics are cool. I'll probably rewatch these cinematics later on my own time, because I do like the story. And it looks like there's a... Whoa. Looks like there's like a female lead. The amounts Kageyama performs his small jumps for making every set is pretty legit leg tiring. I think it's more than soccer, but I might be wrong. Yeah, but who's to say that Kageyama also can't get into shape for soccer, right? I think he just happens to be training for that. Ooh, these are some gruesome scenes. Have you ever thought about recording reactions to manga? I did on my other channel, Elevate Yourself. It was hard for me to get into the actual manga. I think maybe I might get into it if it was like a future season, so maybe for season 5. Yeah, these cutscenes are like horrific. I think historically, Diablo 1 was super demonic. I would say Demonic 1 was pretty scary. I think they toned it down. Game is named after one of the most evil beings, its own verse, so it's pretty dark, grim, and just outright horror. Yeah. But I feel like they've toned it down a little bit. Like, whoa, what is this? Look at how big the swing is. I wonder if this is a new skill for me. By the way, I'm trying to practice some new slang. OP, is that like the modern way of saying overpowered or too strong? My pop actually introduced me to Diablo 2 back in when I was younger. I'm 22 now and Diablo was released. Oh man, you got a good dad there. What a classic game. I also saw on my YouTube recommendation that they re-released Diablo 2, but better graphics. I don't know if it's a different class, but after I'm finished playing with this, I might go back to that. I just love the Diablo series. Do you think that the concept of egoism is just simply not applicable to volleyball? No, it is. Actually, there's a character, not a character, there's a real player named Engapet. And he's one of the best players in the world, but he's really cocky. And there's a lot of cocky players out there, but generally that's not the nature of volleyball. Volleyball is kind of like a nice guy sport. So Engapet, he's kind of a selfish player. He's really good. So, you know, it's tough when people know they're good, they can kind of have an ego there. Ooh, a chest. There's times where he just kind of gives up on the court. But he does some crazy athletic things. He's not really a good attitude type of guy, but he's an example who led his team to 2 gold medals. So I think he's a really good example of someone that would do really well in Blue Lock. Yes, I am playing on my MacBook. I had to get a... I'm not going to spend a couple $1,000s on a good gaming computer. At least not yet. But I want to... Luckily, my MacBook Pro is pretty powerful, so I downloaded a crossover for an emulator. Half Turkish and half Kazakh. Ooh. One thing I know about people from Kazakh, you guys are really strong. Good weightlifting team. Volleyball's popular. Wrestlers and fighters are really good from Kazakhstan. Let me know if I am not understanding that correctly about your culture, but that seems to be what I've read. It's 11 p.m. in Albania. One of my favorite setters, Donald Suzo, is from Albania. He was the setter for the USA men's national team for volleyball in 2012. I don't know if you know who he is. Whoever, by the way, when I was in animation illustration, it was like a double major. I wanted to become a concept illustrator, so the people that would come up with the ideas for these creatures and would make up different ones. We only learned animation just because the double major, they felt like it would equip us better to work in teams, because you know those 2 groups would work together. Man, why are there so many monsters? I need some spells here. Now the monsters are starting to get pretty hard. So I would say I learned about 30% animation and then 70% illustration, and you can choose your specialty. So my specialty, after when we first got into the program, which is really competitive, I think like 300 to 500 people apply every year at San Jose State, and then they only accept maybe 20. I was more about like still images, and I think that's probably why I didn't think that the animation was really that bad for Blue Lock in season 2. I mean, a lot of you guys were warning me that the animation was not going to be that good, but I actually really like those still images because they're high quality still images with some movement in the background. Combat strike. Alright. What am I? I'm like a walking... Is this like a star? Oh, this is like a star from Mario Brothers. I just walk around. I think I cannot be damaged. This is so crazy. I'm just a walking ball of lightning. And when I talk about how I'm a former animator, I thought I found... By the way, I studied it all the way up until 2007. And then 2007, 2009 is when I decided to change majors to become an art teacher. So it's been a while since I've done... I'll draw here and there, but unfortunately I did not keep any of my animation projects. And I thought I found some. And I found like one really, really short animation of Cyclops, the character from X-Men, shooting his beam in like an 8-bit graphic. But it was a flashed file and I couldn't find a way to read Adobe Flash. So I think just for an intro in the future, so I just uploaded some more hand drawings that I did of some really, really old, like I'm talking about, this is before people used to scan stuff. Oh shoot, so sorry guys. So I was like wondering, why aren't people leaving any messages? It's because I didn't scroll up on this little chat box. I'm so sorry. I was like, damn, did everyone leave? But then I see 19 people logged in. Okay. Afiner said, but you can't play volleyball alone. You can't demand something from others. So if you ever watch Engapet play, he's as close as they get. Now, he has a great surrounding teammate, but I feel like he's kind of like Shido, where people know that they need him to win and do crazy stuff, because this guy, he's in his own world. Sometimes he will take the ball away from people. So for example, in volleyball, you have 3 contacts, and sometimes he will just hit on the second contact because he wants to hit, so he's taken away from the setter. So I agree, it can't be as solo as soccer, but he does treat it almost like a one-on-one game. You are correct, Donnie, about the culture of Kazakhstan. Unfortunately, our men's volleyball culture is not performing well. I know in that area, like near Turkestan and Mongolia, like volleyball, I think Mongolia has a professional league. Thanks for that update, though. I do see some volleyball footage from that area. What's up, Cloud? Thanks for joining and being a member. Vu808. Oh, are you from Hawaii? I recognize that 808 anywhere. Would be really cool to watch you build a gaming PC. Okay, there's been a lot of really great requests from Elevate Your Power Level. People wanting me to watch multiple animes, like that ping pong anime, Run with the Wind, or is that what it's called, Running with the Wind? I definitely want to get to all of those, and I really appreciate everyone like excited for me to watch their favorite anime. But unfortunately, I don't make enough income yet from, like, it's growing for sure from the ad revenue and the channel memberships, and eventually when I actually launch some apparel, I'm going to be able to supplement more. What it'd be like to do Elevate Your Power Level sustainably in a financial way. One of my plans is to continue to grow the memberships with back behind the scenes content, early access, and uncensored videos. And Raphael, the video editor, has been doing such a great job building those. So that's slowly building, but I'm not even at a point of breaking even right now. The amount of money I spend recording stuff, paying my video editor, I'm still losing money, but it's getting closer to breaking even. So I know that sounds like a low bar, but once you break even, then you can really grow from there. But if I can at least cover my expenses, then at least I'm not losing money. I love your insights on volleyball Olympic Games. I love to see you do more commentary in professional games. That's another thing I'm going to bring back to Volleyball Pro Mindset, is doing commentary on games. I think that would be fun to add. Thanks for reminding me. I think just watching a game. I currently have a partnership with CEV, which is one of the biggest volleyball organizations in the world. They mainly have European teams, which is fine, but I think I want to start doing that.